For example 1, we have a softball league that has T teams, and each team plays all the other teams in the league twice. The total number of games played, G, is shown by this formula. G is equal to T squared minus T. If the Lady Cats softball league plays a total of 72 games, how many teams are in that league? So we're given a formula where we have that G is equal to T squared minus T. In our problem, we're told that T represents the teams played. So T equals number of teams. And we know that G is the number of games. So G is equal to the number of games. So for our equation then, we can fit in, if it says that the league plays a total of 72 games, since 72 represents games, we'll put it in for the G. So 72 is equal to T squared minus T. Now we need to solve this for T. So remembering back that if we have something to the second power, it's quadratic. And to solve it, we need to have a 0 on one side. So I'm going to subtract 72 from both sides of this equation so that I have a 0 is equal to T squared minus T minus 72. So we've got the 0. Now we need to factor this right side. So we're going to use, because it's 3 terms, the AC method. So we're going to look for two numbers that multiply to be negative 72. And then it needs to add to be negative 1. So 8 and 9, and the 9 needs to be the negative and the 8 positive. So we could do the shortcut method. I'm going to do the long method though. This will be T squared plus 8T minus 9T minus 72, group. So I get T times T plus 8 minus 8 times, this is a 9. 9 times 8, T plus 8, and then the T plus 8's in common, so we'll have then T plus 8 times T minus 9 is equal to 0. So to solve it, T plus 8 is 0, T minus 9 is 0. So subtract 8 from both sides and get T as negative 8. Add 9 to both sides and we get T is equal to 9. So I get two answers. However, remember what T represents. We want it to represent the number of teams that are playing. I can't have a negative number of teams, so that's going to get thrown out. And my answer is going to be 9. So there are going to be 9 teams in the league. In example 2, a square field has 5 meters added to its length and 2 meters added to its width. The field now has a new area of 130 meters squared. Find the length of the original field. So let's go back. The original field was square. So if it's square, then we can draw a little picture here. It's got the same length as it does width. So X and X. So we're going to then take it and we're going to increase one length by 5. So X plus 5. And the other 2 meters added to its width. So here we're going to add 2 and get X plus 2. So to figure the area of this rectangle, we're going to do length times width. And we will have X plus 5 times X plus 2. Now that's going to be my area. And it says that this new area is 130. So we're going to put in 130. So the new area, length times width, is equal to the new area 130. So in order to solve this, remember we need to have a 0 over here first. So we're going to subtract this, and then we need to multiply out our polynomial here. So we have then x squared plus 2x plus 5x plus 10 and we're going to subtract this 130 from both sides and come up with minus 130 is equal to 0. So I do want to FOIL this out, but don't forget you still need to subtract the 130 and mix it all in together before we can do anything. So I'm going to rewrite this, combining terms. So this is x squared plus 7x. I'd have 10 minus 130. It's going to be a minus 120 is equal to 0. All right, so this is a place where people tend to make mistakes. So don't forget, distribute, but still you need to subtract the 130 and re-add everything so that it looks like a trinomial again. And now we're going to factor. So we're going to look for two numbers that multiply to be 120 and add to be 7. So I think of 12 and 10, and that doesn't work. So what else might we use on that? Let's see, 5 perhaps. And 5 goes into it 2, 24 into 24. So that's still not it. So the next thing I think about is a 6. And 6 goes into it 20 times. Well, that's still not it. Still not giving me a 7. And of course, one of these is negative all along here. Still's not giving me the 7. Another number that will go into it is 8. So 8 goes into it 15 times. And there's going to be my difference of 7. So I have a minus and a plus. I'm going to do the shortcut method this time. So I'm going to have x plus 15 and x minus 8 is equal to 0. So remember, we can do the shortcut as long as this front number here is a 1. So I get x plus 15, x minus 8. I'm going to set each one of those equal to 0. And then subtract 15. That gives me negative 15. And here I'm going to add 8. And so I get 8. So again, remembering that x represents the side of the square, so I'm going to throw out the negative and take the positive. So the length of the original field was 8 meters.